Okay, so how's it going, guys? Ryo Murata, photographer based in Tokyo. So originally this, you guys probably know this is a film channel and I never talk about digital specifically on this topic. However, I really wanted to dedicate this video to one specific lens that sort of like built my foundation as a YouTuber, as a content creator, and then also as a photographer, which is obviously the kit lens from Fujifilm, the 18 to 55mm f2.8 to f4 lens. And long story short, like I said, I've been using this for the past 3-4 years, and every trip that I went to, 100% of the time I use this lens, and there's like nothing wrong about this lens, but we all know that this lens is already like 12 years old, and although it is 12 years old, this was actually the fourth lens that Fujifilm announced when they went into the mirrorless like arena. So back when the X Pro 1, X Pro 2, XT1, XT2 was released, this was actually when this actually popped out during that era. And unfortunately to say that I started using this during the XT3, which was actually my first like what we call digital mirrorless camera, and up to the XT5, XT4 included, which is shooting my video right now. But this lens has been on there for like the most of the time, and it's basically the longest lens I have actually used in my lifetime. And I have to admit that although they call this a kit lens, I wouldn't consider a kit lens like Nikon's and Canon's like counterpart, which is made out of plastic. It's like plastic junk, plastic mounts and stuff like that. Not going into details, but this is like, although it's a kit lens, it is made out of metal, fully robust. You can do jobs with this, fortunately enough, and there's like so many to talk about, but I just wanted to dedicate this on this specific topic. You'd be asking me, but Ryo, why are you talking about this like 18 to 55mm kit lens as of right now? And you guys probably have heard it, but Fujifilm's going to be replacing this lens with the 16 to 50mm lens. I think it's being released already in North America, but in Japan it's not. But I am actually probably going to switch to that lens specifically because, like I said, this lens was out for roughly 12 years and it is starting to show its age. And what's rather intriguing about this lens is that if you use a really old Fujifilm camera, such as the X Pro 1, X Pro 2, up to X Pro 3, XT1, 2, 3, which have roughly 16 to 26 megapixels, this lens actually can do pretty well in those fields. However, the recent cameras, you guys probably seen some of my videos. Right now I shoot with the XT5, which has 40 megapixel like sensor inside, along with the XH2, which I don't own, and XH2, not to us, that's 26 megapixels. But more and more Fujifilm's cameras megapixel count is increasing, which means that it's actually harder to resolve all those resolutions or pixels with a 10-12-year-old lens. Unfortunately, if you actually like downgrade the resolution, you can fully use it. However, when you use a 40 megapixel camera in combination to this, it's starting to show its age, unfortunately. And unfortunately, this is a film camera and I don't want to dig into deep about this lens, but I wanted to sort of like dedicate this video to this lens because it built my foundation as a photographer and as a content creator. So I basically brought this lens to Malaysia actually on a recent trip like last month or so with my dad. So you guys are already accustomed to seeing me shooting video with this already. So instead of shooting video, I basically just shot photos for you guys with this lens 100%. And the video part, I basically didn't have that much time to like go back and forth video and photo function because my mindset's like really analog and I don't like to shoot video and photos on the exact same camera. It's just, it's hard to like switch over. If it's a complete different camera, one for stills, one for video, I can do that, but on the same camera I'd hate to do that. So I basically shot video for you guys using a Pixel 6a old smartphone and a DJI action camera, and also the photos are being shot with this 18 to 55mm f2.8 to f4 long breathtaking pronunciation of the kit lens from Fujifilm. So yeah, this is sort of like a dedication and my sort of like appreciation for using this for the course of years. So yeah, Malaysia trip, let's get going. So after eating lunch at KLCC Mall, we took a Grab to National Mosque of Malaysia, and I just wanted to visit this area because I never been to a mosque, and I never knew that you had to wear a wardrobe to walk around the palace and with your socks and shoe off. But I actually enjoyed the scenery because I like to shoot architecture. After coming back and looking at the photo, the correct way of shooting this was overexposed, and when I actually increased the brightness, you guys can tell it actually looks much better in my opinion. The next day, my dad and I went to Batu Cave, which is a famous Hindu temple where there's a lot of pigeons and lots of people and lots of monkeys to raid your secret possessions of your camera and your lenses. But thankfully they did not know how to like detach a lens from a camera, so I was saved. After that, my dad and I went to a Merdeka Square, which was basically the location where I guess Malaysia declared independence. Walked all the way to Petaling Street to Kwai Chai Hong, which is located within Chinatown, and looked at the scenery. A grab back to Petronas Towers and called it a day. so that's basically my video of shooting with Malaysia with this lens. And yeah, like I said, I keep getting heart attacks when I was actually walking around with this lens attached to my X-T5, because you guys probably know, if you've ever been to Malaysia or any kind of Southeast Asian country, there's a super high chance of it to rain, and this is, like I said, not weather resistant. So when I see a lot of like thunder clouds while I was at like Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, I was like, oh dang, kinda, I'm gonna get wet. So that's like that's like one of the things that kind of struck me ever since I purchased this lens, and I kind of wished it had weather resistance, but like I said, the newer lens has that incorporated into the system, and because it's like an internal type of zoom, water won't enter from the side. So I'm actually looking forward to that lens specifically. And yeah, that's sort of like my video of me just talking about the 18-55. Obviously this isn't a review or anything, but I just to show my dedication and appreciation, and also my thankfulness of this surviving the course of the years. And also thanks to this lens, I've reached 1,500 subscribers. So yeah, hopefully Fujifilm watches this video, gives me some kind of, like, I don't know, memoriam of this lens. I don't know, I would love a statue or something. But yeah, that's it on my video on this topic. Okay, that's basically it on my video of talking about the 18-55 f2.8 to f4 lens from Fujifilm. It was an honor to serve you, sir. Over the course of the 3-4 year period you built my foundation, I reached 1,500 subscribers, and it was actually a blast using you on my X-T3, X-T4, and X-T5. And yeah, and obviously there's going to be people asking me questions probably in the comment section below. Like, what's rather intriguing is that this 18-55 versus the newer lens, which the focal length actually changes to 16-50, so you get the wider side but you sacrifice the telephoto. I myself, specifically this Malaysia trip, also reminded me that 18 specifically is not that wide in my opinion. It's equivalent to 28mm if I'm right on the full frame. So typically a full frame wide angle, well, ever since digital was released, 24 was actually on the wide angle side, and this is like 28, so it's sort of like media core in terms of getting super wide shots. But that 16mm, a lot of people actually wanted a 24mm equivalent lens, so I guess that's why Fujifilm wanted to stick in 16 instead of 18. And also I guess Fujifilm noticed that not many people shoot around that 55, because 55 is roughly 85 if I'm right in terms of the focal length, in terms when converted to full frame. So, and 50mm is I guess 80 or so, so I guess that's actually one of the reasons why they shaved the telephoto but increased the sort of like the wide angle lens. And they also, I guess, wanted to like shave off the weight of this, so they basically made sort of like a smaller aperture of 4.8 instead of f4. And honestly, I don't shoot wide open with this lens at all. I shoot at 5.6, f8 at most when I'm traveling most of the time, because people want to see specifically what you shot. They don't like blurry shots, you know. So I guess that's like my sort of like wants and needs. So yeah, that's basically it on my video of talking about the 18-55. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you have any inquiries, I'm happy to reply. I mean, I've been using this for quite a long time, and at the same time, hopefully every single Fujifilm user has this lens when they first purchase a Fujifilm camera. If not, what are your reasons? And at the same time, if you're ever a user of this lens, are you going to be upgrading to the 16-50mm? And I keep forgetting to mention this, but when I purchased this, I purchased this used for $200-300 if I'm right. I think new it's like $500. But what's rather important about these lenses, especially the good lenses, is that they retain their value for an extended period of time as long as you take care of that lens. And I paid like $200-300 for this lens. I can probably sell this for $100-200 and basically use that money to purchase a new lens, which costs 99,000 yen right now, $700 or so if I'm right. So this plus deduct the $700, I can basically purchase that lens for $500 if I'm right. So that's not super expensive. So yeah, went off a little bit off topic, but hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative, and yeah, we will see you next time. Peace out, and yeah, I have like 1 month or so to say my farewells to this lens because the new one's going to be released in the end of the month. So yeah, you're going into the dry cabinet for now. So yeah, see ya.